Exponent review. Definition: x to the exponent m. X to the exponent m is called a power, x is called the base, and m is called the exponent. Exponents are nothing more than a bookkeeping tool used to write very large or very small numbers or to write long products succinctly. For example, instead of writing there are 100,000,000,000,000,000 galaxies in the universe, it is easier to read and remember there are 10 to the exponent 11 galaxies in the universe. Instead of writing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, we write 2 to the exponent 6 times 3 to the exponent 5. The exponent laws. X to the exponent n times x to the exponent n is equal to x to the exponent n plus n. Example, x to the 3 times x to the 2 is x to the 3 plus 2, which is x to the 5. The second exponent law. X to the exponent m divided by x to the exponent n is equal to x m minus n. Example is x to the 5 divided by x to the 3 is just x 5 minus 3, which is x to the 2. The third exponent law. X to the m times n equals x m times n. So for example, if you have x to the exponent 3 and everything to the exponent 2, that's just x 3 times 2, which is just x to the exponent 6. Number 4, x y to the exponent n is just x n y n. So for example, if you have x times y all in one bracket to the exponent 3, the 3 can be distributed to each variable inside the bracket. So you get x times 3, y times 3. 5, x divided by y to the n is equal to xn divided by yn. So if you have x divided by y to the exponent 2, that's just x to the exponent 2 divided by y to the exponent 2. For 5, x 3 y 4 to the exponent 2 times negative 2xy 4 to the exponent 3 is equal to 25 x6 y8. So that part is 5 squared x3 squared y4 squared, and then you have negative 8 x3 y12, which is negative 2 cubed x cubed y4 to the exponent 3, which gives you y12. And then you do 25 times negative 8, which gives you negative 200. And then you have x to the 6 times x to the 3, which gives you x to the 9. Then you have y to the 8 times y to the 12, which gives you y to the 20. Then you have 16a 3b5 divided by 4a5 to the 9, all to the exponent 2. So let's solve the inside first, which gets you 16 divided by 4 gives you 4, a to the 3 divided by a gives you a squared, b5 divided by b9 gives you b to the negative 4, right? Because there is 4 in the bottom, and so we just write a negative to indicate that it's supposed to be in the bottom of the fraction. And then to the square, and now we distribute the square to the 4, so that becomes 4 squared equals 16. a squared times squared equals a4, and then b to the negative 4 squared equals b to the negative 8. So you get 16a4 divided by b8. Zero and negative exponents. Why does 2 to the negative 3 equals to 1 divided by 8? And so there's a activity where you can investigate. So 2 to the 4 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the 3 equals 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the 2 equals 2 times 2. 2 to the 1, that's just 2. 2 to the 0 is equal to 1. Any exponent to the 0 is 1. And 2 to the negative 1, it just means 1 divided by 2. 2 to the negative 2 just means 1 over 2 to the 2. And then 1 over 2 to the 3 for 2 to the negative 3. And then 1 over 2 over 4 to the 2 to the negative 4. So number 6, x0 equals 1. So anything to the exponent 0 is 1. So 3x0y squared z to the 0 equals 3 times 1, because anything in the bracket to the 0 is 1, so you get equals 1. So 3 times 1 equals 3. And then 7, x to the negative m equals to 1 over xm. So x to the negative 2 just equals to 1 over x squared. So here's an example. 4 to the negative 2 plus 2 to the negative 1 is just equal to 1 over 4 squared plus 1 over 2, which is equal to 1 over 16 plus 1 over 2, which is equal to, so you make a common denominator and then you just add the fraction. So that would be 8 over 16 is equivalent to 1/2. So that's why you get 9 over 16. Okay, so question 1a, it says evaluate 7 to the negative 3 is just equal to 1 over 7/3, which is equal to 1 over 343. So that's 7 times 7 times 7 on the calculator. 1b says 1/2 to the negative 1. So that's just 1 over 1/2 to the 1. And so that's just 1 over 1/2, which is just 2. And then we have c, which is just 3 over 4 to the negative 2, which is equal to 4 over 3 to the 2, because the negative just reverse the fraction. And that is equal to 16 over 9. So you do 4 squared and you do 3 squared. Question D, 2 to the negative 1 minus 2 to the negative 2 is equal to 1/2 minus 1 over 2 squared equals to 1/2 minus 1/4 equals to 1/4. Question 2, simplify. 12m5n to the negative 2 times 5m to the negative 11n to the 6 divided by 15m cubed n to the negative 4. So we do the 12 times 5 first. That gives us 60. And there's a 15 on the bottom. And then we do m5 and m to the negative 11. So that add them together and we get m to the negative 6 on the top. N to the negative 2 and n to the 6. We add those two exponents together, we get n to the 4. And at the bottom we still have m cubed n to the negative 4. So 60 divided by 15 is 4. And then we have m to the negative 6 and m to the 3. So we add those together. And whatever's to the bottom, we have to subtract. So we get negative 9m. So negative m to the exponent negative 9. And then we have n4 minus 4, which gives us n8. And that is equal to 4n8 divided by m9. So we put the negative exponents back into the denominator and make it positive again. 2b, 3b0 to the 0 minus a over b to the negative 1. Anything to this exponent 0 is 1, so we have 1 minus a over b, so it's b over a so a over b to the negative 1, we reverse it, so now it becomes b over a to the 1, so that's just 1 minus b over a. So review exponents, simplify 1a. We have 5 to the 6 times 5 to the negative 3. So that's just 5 to the 6 plus negative 3. So equals to 5 to the exponent 3, which is equals to 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. Then we go on to 1b, 10 to the 6 to the exponent negative 3. So we will multiply 6 to the negative 3 to get negative 18. So that's 10 to the exponent negative 18. And because it's negative exponents, we can move it to the denominator and make it positive again. So it becomes 1 over 10 to the 18. Question 1c. X to the negative 6 times x to the negative 3. So that's just x to the negative 6 plus negative 3, which is equal to x to the negative 9. And that's 1 over x over 9. Question D. 2m times 2 to the 3m equals to 2 times 4m. Right, so m plus 3m is 4m, so you get 4m in the exponent there. Question E. Negative 5 times negative 5 to the exponent negative 2. So that's just negative 5, 1 times negative 5 to the negative 2. And so you have the same variable. So you do 1 plus negative 2, which gets you negative 5, negative 1. So it should be a negative 1 there. And so you just make it into a fraction, so it's 1 to the negative 5. So f 3y cubed to the exponent 2. So you do 3 squared, y 3 squared. So you get 9 and y 6. Question G. x6 divided by x to the negative 3 is equal to x6 minus 3, which will give you 6 plus 3, which will give you x to the 9. I mx plus y divided by mx minus y. So that will be m. So you do look at the exponents. There will be x plus y minus x minus y. And so the x will be minused, so it will be subtracted, so it will be gone. Y minus y gives you 2y, so it's just m to the 2y. J 5m9 times 6m cubed. So 5 times 6 is 30, so you get 30 there. m9 plus m3, so 9 plus 3, you get 12, so you get m12. Question K. 30y to the 9 divided by 6 to the y cubed. So 30 divided by 6, you get 5. y9, subtract the y3, so 9 minus 3, you get 6. So you get y6 in the numerator. Okay, question M. 3x times 3x minus 7 times 3 to the 2x, they all divided by 3 over 3x. So that's just 3x plus x minus 7 plus 2x all over 3 to the 3x. That's just equal to 4x minus 7 divided by 3 over 3x. Right, so you just add the exponents on a numerator together. And then you finally subtract the exponents on top by the exponents to the bottom. So 4x minus 7 minus 3x, and that just gives you 1x left. So it's 3x minus 7. Question N, AB cubed times CD squared divided by ABC cubed times AD to the 4. So we're going to put the 3 to the A to the B, put the 2 to the C to the D, put the 3 to the A to the B to the C, put the 4 to the A to the D. So we're going to distribute the exponents to each variable. So that is A cubed B cubed times C squared D squared, A cubed B cubed C cubed times A to the 4 times D to the 4. And that is equal to 1 on the top there, because all the A's, there's only A4 at the bottom. The B, they subtract to 0, so it becomes a 1. C squared C cubed gives you a C at the bottom, and a D squared at the bottom. And that is equal to 1 over A to the 4 times C to the times D to the 2. So we evaluate -5 squared, that's just -25. The negative stays out because it's not in a bracket, so the negative will be still there when we calculate B squared, 5 squared, which is 25, -25. B2 to the -5, 1 over 2 times to the exponent 5, which is equal to 1 over 32. Then we have C -5 times 2 to the 0. 2 to the 0 is just 1, so it's just -5 times 1, which is just -5. Then we have question D. 2 over 5 cubed is equal to 2 cubed, which is 8, and over 5 cubed, which is 125. Then we have -5 to the exponent -1. So that's just equal to 1 over -5 to the exponent 1, which is just equal to 1 over 5, -1 over 5. Question F, 2 over 5 to the -3. So to get rid of the negative, we reverse the fraction. So top goes to bottom, bottom goes to top. So we get 5 over the 2 cubed. And then we get 5 cubed, which is 125, and 2 cubed, which is 8. G, -2 over 3 to the -4. So get rid of the negative exponent, we reverse it, so it becomes -3 over 2 to the 4. Because the negative is inside the bracket, when you multiply by an even exponent, the negative disappears. So you just get 81 over 16. Question H, -9 to the exponent -2 is just equal to negative. The negative is still there because it's outside of a bracket. Over 1 over 9 to the 2. So you get rid of the -2, you make it to 2, then you reverse the 9, so you get 1 over 9, which is equal to -1 over 81. Number 3, write A, 9 to the cube times 27 squared times 81 as the power of 3. So that is equal to 9 cubed times 27 squared times 81. And we try to make it as a power of 3. So 9 is just 3 squared. So that's 3 squared times cube times the exponent cube. And then 27, that's just 3 cubed, which is equal to, 3 cubed squared, because it's 27 squared. And 81 is just equal to 3 times to the exponent 4. So that is 3 to the exponent 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. And then 3 times 2 is 6, so you get 3 to the exponent 6, and then 3 to the exponent 4. Then you add all the exponent together to get 3 over 16. 3 to the exponent 16. So 3b, 25 times 4x, 25 to the exponent 4x times 5 to the exponent 2x minus 3 as a power of 5. So that's equal to 5 squared to the exponent 4x times 5 to the exponent 2x minus 3, which is just equal to 10x minus 3. So you add the exponents together. Question 4. If x equals m cubed and y equals 2n squared, write the following expressions in terms of m and n. So you just sub in m cubed and you just sub in 2n squared, and then you use the exponent laws to simplify to 6m 6n squared. Same thing with 4b, just sub in m cubed and 2n squared into the equation, and then you use your exponent law to simplify the exponents, and so you get 256 m 6n to the 12.